Hey guys, so I'm back again today with my thoughts on the show Zatch Bell. Now, it's an older show, probably from the early 2000s, I'm not 100% sure, but it's 150 episodes in length plus 2 movies. Now, this show was big in my childhood. I watched it episode here, episode there when I was little on TV. And I decided to just go ahead and watch the whole thing because I'd never actually seen the whole thing before. Well, I've seen bits and pieces, so it was kind of a rewatch for me, but also not at the same time. So first I want to say about the storyline. There were, as most long shows do have, multiple arcs. And the different arcs had different highlights to it. Some of them were funnier, some of them were more serious, and as with any show, it was a little crazy at times to try and keep everything straight. The characters, they progressed very well. They were very different at the start than they were at the end of the 150 episodes. And it wasn't, oh, I'm just going to change in one episode. No, it was a continuous change throughout multiple episodes. And throughout the whole series as a whole. Now, one thing I don't like about this show was that it had a very, very abrupt ending. It didn't really give an answer to who won the battle, which was the whole thing, who was going to become the king. It went from an arc where they're going to save the world against this massive demon to a battle between Barago and Zatch. Now, I guess you're supposed to believe that that is the final battle, but it only shows one attack, and it doesn't show who wins, and it doesn't show what happened to any of the other characters that you had grown to love throughout the series as it went. And it, even in the subversion, which is what I watched the last half of the show as, it had a note on it that said, read the manga, because you're not going to get a good ending if you just watch a show. And because of that, it really deters a lot of people from continuing. Not me, because I'm already over 100 episodes in at this point. There's less than 50 left. I'm just going to shut up and go through it because I want to know how it ends. I am that person. So I spent about a month watching it between going to school, working, and watching it. It took me longer than it usually would because there was a lot of... I picked up some extra work hours and I did a couple of other things and, well, it didn't leave a lot of time for watching shows, which makes me kind of sad because I really want to get back into watching more of it. But with this show, I loved the characters. They were very dear to my heart by the end. And I am going to say I did cry when a couple of the characters passed back to the Momoto world, especially because of what they were living for in the human world was to protect and to make sure everybody was safe and comfortable, and because of that, it did make me sad when they passed on and left their people behind. But what I do love is how those people continued to fight throughout the rest of the series. They didn't just disappear. They had become main characters, and they stayed main characters even after their Momoto partner had disappeared. I don't really know what else to say. I enjoyed this show a lot. I would probably give it an 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5. There were some flaws just in the storyline and the way it was told, and I really didn't like how it just dropped off all of a sudden. But overall, this show really did warm my heart. It's a feel-good show that you can just watch and be happy with. It wasn't one where I was shipping everybody together or wanting to kill off characters. There was a little bit of that, but didn't want to kill off everybody if they got together, and there was little to no romance. And I'm okay with that, because it was a feel-good show. It was a show to watch just because it was entertaining. There was action, there were battles, there was comedy, there was supernatural aspects, which I love, love, love. And overall, it was a heartwarming show. It was something I enjoyed to watch. I enjoyed watching, and I would watch it again. Not right away, because I'm not someone who can rewatch if it's right there, if I'm doing it right away. But maybe in a year and a half, when I don't know really what happened anymore, when I've kind of forgotten the storyline a bit, I'll come back and I'll actually rewatch it because I enjoyed it that much. So if you guys were coming and watching this video as to see if you should watch it or not, I say you should, in my opinion. I really enjoyed it. It was something that I'm glad that I spent my time on. And because of that, if you do watch it, I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, leave me a comment below. Tell me what you thought, who your favorite characters were. And if you've seen it before, do the same thing. What did you think? Who did you like? Who did you hate? Who did you want to become king? Anyway, I'll talk to you guys in a bit.